Good morning, class 10. Today we will do a poem. The name of the poem is The Ball Poem. I am sure when you read the name of the poem for the first time, you must have felt that what a strange name has been given to this poem, The Ball Poem. Maybe some of you have read the poem also. It is about a ball which is lost now. The poet is talking about a boy who was playing with the ball and he has lost his ball now. Actually, the poem is not only about the lost ball, the poem has a very deep meaning hidden in it. The poet in this poem is trying to tell us the reality of life by means of a lost ball. The poet is trying to tell us that we always keep on thinking that whatever we have, whatever things we possess, or whatever people whichever people we are associated with, we are never going to lose them. Like, for example, we never even dream that one day we are going to lose our loved ones. That means we never even think or even try to think that what will happen when our parents will not be there in this world. That thought even makes us so upset. We really become disturbed when we think of such losses in our life. You are still very small. Can you think of a life without parents at this age? No. We never think. When we are small and even when we are grown up, we never think in such a way that whatever we have today, we might not have after a few years. And when any of our precious belonging or any of our loved one gets separated from us, then how do we feel? We feel that the loss is irreparable. Nobody can make good the loss. How are we going to live now when some person loses his mother or father, or both? A time comes when a person loses his mother and father both, or any other loved one for that matter, any other loved one, not only mother or father. It can be a very close brother, it can be a sister, it can be a grandmother, grandfather, anybody. When we are separated from that person, how do we feel? We feel as if now the world has come to a standstill. Our life has come to a standstill. How are we going to survive without that person? What kind of a life we will lead now? How we will overcome that gap, that vacuum which has been created? But that is our testing time. That is the time when we have to stand up boldly, courageously, and prove that no, we have the courage to overcome such problems, because losses and gains are two sides of the same coin. Life has ups and downs. Life shows us good times and bad times. Like, you can correlate the bad times with this corona period which everybody is facing nowadays. There are so many people in this whole world who have lost their loved ones in this corona due to this corona disease. Can you imagine living a life without your near and dear ones? It is not easy, but God gives us strength, and that strength helps us to stand up again, to have courage and boldness to face the problems of life, to face the challenges of life, and forget about our past, forget about our losses, bear the responsibility that God has put on our shoulders, and lead a life beautifully and bravely once again. So, this poem, children, is basically not only about a lost ball. It tells us that when we face any losses, when we bear any losses in our life, it can be the loss of your some precious commodity, it can be the loss of your loved ones, it can be any kind of loss. Whenever we bear losses in our life, for some time we are shaken, for some time we are grief stricken, but that should not last long. We should have the courage, we should be bold enough to overcome those losses, bear the responsibility on our shoulders which God has bestowed upon us, and we should stand up again bravely and continue to live a bold life, because life never comes to a standstill due to any one or two losses in our life. Life goes on. Whether the loss is big or small, life goes on. So we must learn to continue to live with boldness, to have courage within ourselves. We should have strong willpower, because if a person has strong willpower, if a person has courage, then he can overcome any kind of problems, any kind of difficulty which life may put before him at any time. The difficulties can come any time in your life, in our lives, when we are small or when we are young, when we are adults or when we are old. At any point of time, life may put challenges before us, and the one who overcomes the problems, who faces the challenges, is actually the winner. So now let me start the poem. First, I will not explain the poem, I will only read the poem to you. Then I will explain the poem line by line. Let us begin. The Ball Poem by John Berryman. Okay, now let us start. A boy loses a ball. He is very upset. A ball doesn't cost much, nor is it difficult to buy another ball. Why then is the boy so upset? Read the poem to see what the poet thinks has been lost, and what the boy has to learn from the experience of losing something. What is the boy now who has lost his ball? What is he to do? I saw it go merrily bouncing down the street, and then merrily over. There it is in the water. No use to say, oh, there are other balls. An ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy. As he stands rigid, trembling, staring down all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. I would not intrude on him. A dime, another ball is worthless. Now he senses first responsibility in a world of possessions. People will take balls. Balls will be lost always, little boy. And no one buys a ball back. Money is external. He is learning well behind his desperate eyes the epistemology of loss. How to stand up, knowing what every man must one day know, and most know many days, how to stand up. So, since I have told you the background of the poem, maybe you have understood something about the poem, some meaning which is coming out from the poem. Now I am reading out to you what the whole poem means, and then I will explain line by line. The boy in this poem loses his favorite ball. He feels very sad. He is fearful. He keeps on looking at the ball. He stands at the harbor for a long time. The poet is saying that he could have consoled him by saying that he would get new balls. He could have offered some money also to him to buy a new ball. But he stops from doing so. He stops himself from doing so, because money may bring a new ball, but money can never bring back those beautiful memories which are associated with that lost ball. The boy will learn a lesson for life by losing his precious ball. He will learn to accept the harsh realities of life. He will learn to understand that one day we might lose our loved ones, or we might lose our loved things, but we will have to bear that responsibility. We will have to stand up and face these challenges of life. So now let us begin the poem. I am going to read out line by line and explain simultaneously. What is the boy now who has lost his ball? What is he to do? In the first two lines, the poet is talking about a boy who has lost his very precious ball. He was playing with his ball, and suddenly the ball fell from his hand and it kept on bouncing. It kept on bouncing and finally it fell into the river. Now the boy is standing and looking at the ball, and in the first two lines the poet is saying, what is the boy now? What is the boy going to do now? Who has lost his ball? What is he to do? He is asking that now the boy who has lost his ball, the ball that was so precious to him, that was so dear to him, that ball is lost now. So what is the boy going to do now? I saw it go merrily bouncing down the street, and then merrily over. There it is in the river. The poet says that when the ball fell from the boy's hand, he saw that the ball was bouncing. Merrily bouncing means like in a joyous mood. It was bouncing and rolling round and round, and first it went into the street, then again it kept on bouncing, and finally it has fallen into the river. No use to say, oh, there are other balls. The poet says that this ball was very precious to this boy. He was very much attached to this ball because his old memories, his sweet memories were closely related to this ball. It was not a mere ball. It was not a mere piece of thing, a mere piece which was used to play. It was something precious. Sometimes, children, you must have seen that a particular pen or a particular pencil, maybe the commodity seems to be very small to you. It can be a simple pen for anybody else. It can be a simple ordinary pencil for anybody else. But maybe that precious pen or pencil has been gifted to you by a close relative of yours, or by your mother or father, or by your grandmother, any close friend, grandfather, or anybody. So that piece, that commodity may be a simple commodity for the rest of the world, but it is going to be a precious commodity for you because your memories, some past memories, are related to that pencil or pen. So similarly, this ball might be just an ordinary ball for the rest of the world, but it was something very precious for this boy because his sweet memories were attached to this ball. And the poet says, no use to say, oh, there are other balls. He sees that the boy is so grieved, he is so upset and sad that it is no use telling him that don't worry, there are other balls in the market, you can purchase another ball. Another ball is not going to fill that gap, fill that vacuum in his life, because this particular ball was very dear to him. No use to say, oh, there are other balls. An ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy as he stands rigid, trembling, staring down. Now, in these two lines, the poet is explaining how the boy is standing at one place and continuously looking in that direction where the ball went bouncing. He says, the poet says, an ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy. He is completely shaken, he is grief stricken, and that grief makes the boy stand still at that particular place as if he has been fixed. He stands still there and continues to look in that direction where the ball has went away. He stands there without any movement as if he has been fixed there. As he stands rigid, again it means rigid, without any movement, he stands still and looks in that direction. Trembling, staring down, he is trembling. His trembling shows that he is too much moved, he is very much grieved by the loss of his ball. Staring down all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. He is staring down and he is recollecting those young days of his life when he used to come to the harbor and play with that ball. He is standing there completely fixed without any movement. He is standing still there and he is thinking of those good old days of his life when he was a young boy, he was a small boy, and he used to come to the harbor to play, and he used to spend time playing with that ball. I would not intrude on him. Now the poet sees that the boy is so much engrossed in his thoughts. He is so much deeply involved thinking about those good old days when he used to play with that ball. He is so much, you can say he is so much involved in his thoughts that the poet does not want to intrude. That means he does not want to interfere in his thinking. He does not want to disturb the boy. He does not want to speak to the boy at this time, otherwise he would be disturbed. He is very much busy thinking about those good old days when he used to play with this ball, and that is why the poet does not want to intrude on him. He does not want to interfere in his thinking process. He wants to leave the boy alone so that he can continue to be in his memories. I would not intrude on him. A dime, another ball is worthless. Dime means 10 cents. Like we have rupee and paisa in India, in US it is 10 cents. 10 cents are called as dime. So the poet says, a dime, another ball is worthless. It is useless to say to the boy that you take a dime and purchase a new ball for yourself. It is of no use, because money can buy a new ball for him, but money cannot bring back those beautiful memories which are attached with that ball. A dime, another ball is worthless. Now he senses first responsibility. in a world of possessions. Now, the poet says that the loss of this ball makes that boy understand his responsibility in life. It makes the lost ball makes the boy understand that life is not only a bed of roses. Life is not filled with good memories or good experiences all the time. It has bitter experiences also, and when one loses something precious in life, it can be a person or it can be anything. When one loses any precious thing, any precious possession in life, then he understands that now life has put a great responsibility on his shoulder and he will have to bear that responsibility. Those who understand their responsibility and bear it on time, they win the battle of life. This is a very strong message, a very true message which the poet is giving in the form of this small poem. Like when a person grows up, even if when he is in his late 30s or 40s, he is an adult person, he is a mature person, and at that time when his parents die, all of a sudden a great many responsibilities fall on his shoulders. For some days, for some time, he is grief stricken, he is shaken, he does not understand how he is going to bear this responsibility, how he is going to fill that vacuum which time has created. But it is time who fills all gaps also. It is nature that fills all gap. Nature means something natural that comes automatically. God has made everything in such a way, God has made our mind, our life, everything in such a way that with the passage of time, we accept the challenges of life, we accept the responsibilities of life, and we forget the past and keep moving ahead for a better future. And this must happen. If we only keep on repenting upon what has happened, or we keep on spending a sad life and keep thinking about the losses which God has given us, then what will happen? We will fill our lives also with disappointment, and we will fill the life of others also with disappointment. So we should not do so. As life puts responsibilities on our shoulders, as time puts responsibilities on our shoulders, we should show that we are brave, we are courageous, we should bear all those responsibilities bravely and stand up and keep moving ahead. This is what God wants us to do. Now he senses first responsibility in the world of possessions. So as this boy has lost his ball, he has for the first time understood his responsibility which God has bestowed upon him in this world of possessions, in this materialistic world. People will take balls. Balls will be lost always, little boy. Now, these two lines especially are very significant, children. In these two lines, the poet is not only talking about balls. The hidden meaning is that in this world, people will take something which is very dear to us. Some precious possession might get lost or might be taken away by other people, or some precious, very dear one, very precious relative of ours, very precious or dear person, very close to our heart, may be lost. May be lost by whom? By death. Death may take that person away, or any other problem may occur to that person. But it is that person is considered victorious who faces these challenges bravely and boldly. People will take balls. Balls will be lost always, little boy. Balls will be lost means any precious thing or commodity or a precious person or dear one might get lost someday. And no one buys a ball back. Money is external. Again, in this line, the poet is not only talking about buying a ball back. Here, the poet tries to say that money is external. Money can buy at times materialistic things, but money cannot buy those sweet memories, those beautiful memories which you have with that person or with that thing. Money cannot buy everything. Money might have the power to buy some costly things for you. You can buy some materialistic things, you can buy some costly things with money. But even if you have lost a possession, as I told you in the beginning, suppose you have lost a pencil which your very close friend gave to you, a pen which your close friend gifted to you on your birthday. It is not important how costly was that pen. The pen might only be of 5 or 10 rupees, but your emotions are attached with that pen. Your emotions are attached with your friend and with the pen which he has gifted to you. That pen is very dear to you because your friend has given to you. So it is not important how costly is anything. It is not important how valuable is that thing. But the thing becomes valuable with the memories which are attached to that thing or to that person. Money is external. He is learning. Well behind his desperate eyes, he is learning. The poet says the boy is learning now. Well behind his desperate eyes. Well behind his desperate eyes. Desperate here shows his eyes which are still in the hope of finding that lost ball. His eyes are still desperate. He has that desperateness. He has that hope still in his eyes that one day maybe he will find his lost ball. So life is teaching him, this losing of his ball is teaching him that money is not everything. Money is just external. Money is just a way to buy something in life. But the main lesson for life is that he has now understood that one day he will have to lose something or the other which is very close to him, which is very precious to him. He has learned by the losing of his ball, he has learned to bear the responsibilities in life. He is learning well behind his desperate eyes the epistemology of loss. Epistemology of loss. That means he is able to understand the nature of loss. See, the meaning of epistemology of loss is given in your book also, children. Understanding the nature of loss, what it means to lose something. That means he is now understanding, by losing his ball, he is now understanding what actually losing anything means. See what happens, children. You are very small, still I am explaining this to you because it is a hard fact of life. It is the bitter reality of life. Unless we lose anything, it can be a thing, it can be any person. Unless we lose anything in life, we never understand what that losing means. When you lose anything in life, when something very close to your heart, when something very close to your life is lost, it can be in terms of a person, it can be in terms of anything. When you lose anything, only then you understand what that loss means to you. What is that feeling? You will never understand unless you have lost any precious thing or a precious person. So the poet says that losing of this ball makes the boy understand the epistemology of loss, the nature of loss. Now he has understood what losing something actually means, how a person feels when he loses anything. And at the same time, he has now understood how to stand up. As I told you, losing brings lot of sadness to a person for some time, but that sadness should also bring courage along with it, so that the person should have the courage to stand up once again. He should be bold enough to face the loss, to bear the loss, and he should be courageous, he should be bold enough to stand up again to face the new challenges of life. The epistemology of loss, how to stand up, knowing what every man must one day know, and most know many days how to stand up. Beautifully, the poet has ended the poem, children. In the last two lines, the poet says that by the loss of this ball, the boy has understood the nature of loss. He has understood how a loss actually makes a person feels, and the boy has learned how to stand up in life once again, knowing what every man one day must know. The poet says that now the boy has understood what every man in this world must understand one day. And what we must understand? We must understand this harsh reality of life, this bitter truth of life, that we might have a very dear possession in life. We might possess we might possess things which are very close to our heart. We might possess people who are very close to our heart, but we must never forget that everything has to come to an end someday. We will have to lose the things which we own, the people which we own, one day or the other. Nothing remains forever, whether it is materialistic possessions or whether it is life. Nothing remains forever. One day we will have to lose things or people who are very close to us, who are very dear to us, and that is our testing time. That is the time when we have to stand up, we have to face the challenges boldly, stand